Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth, and I am delighted to welcome you to our Happy Numbers Reports and Classroom Tools webinar. This session is designed for educators who have already launched Happy Numbers with their students. Your students have completed the placement test, begun working on their personalized learning pathways, and generated enough data for us to explore meaningful trends in the teacher reports. Our goal today is to help you move from simply seeing the data to confidently using it, identifying students who may need support, finding patterns across your class, assigning targeted practice, and monitoring growth over time. Before we get started, let me tell you a little about myself. I am a training specialist and instructor with an MBA, and I've spent my career helping people learn new skills and gain confidence with complex topics. I am especially passionate about supporting educators with practical, engaging learning experiences. Excited to show you how happy numbers can help you make math instruction more effective, engaging, and meaningful for every pre-K through 5 classroom. So here's what we'll cover together today. We'll begin with the weekly dashboard, which gives you a quick picture of student activity, target completion, and students who may need immediate attention. From there, we'll move into the skills report to identify specific areas of mastery and difficulty. Then we'll use those insights to create targeted assignments and explore the Printables library for differentiated paper-based practice. Next, we'll look at assessments and the yearly dashboard so you can monitor growth over time. We'll also review individual student and parent reports and finish with the fact fluency report. Now, because this session is highly interactive, I'll move between the slides and a demo teacher account. Feel free to open your teacher account and follow along as we go. The weekly dashboard is the first report you'll see after logging in, and we recommend checking it at least once a week. Think of it as your weekly classroom check-in. It shows who has been active, who is meeting their targets, and which students may need extra attention or timely intervention. At the top of the dashboard, you'll see the Stuck Students section. Now, this block, it updates in real time and highlights students who have spent significantly longer than expected on their current task without completing it. If you hover over the time shown for a student, you can compare the student's time with the average completion time for that task. For example, Simon here has spent 30 minutes working on a task that on average takes 11 minutes to complete. This is a helpful signal that Simon may need support. Working through the task together can help you determine whether the student needs a quick clarification, a review of the underlying concept, or additional practice. So the goal is not simply to flag a problem, it is to help you step in at the right moment so the student can move forward successfully. Below that, the dashboard is divided into two main sections. The upper section summarizes class activity for the week. The activity chart, it shows how many students logged in during the week and on each day. During the current week, it can also show how many students are online right now. The target completion chart, that shows how many students met their weekly time target and how many met their weekly task target. You can also see how the class is distributed across different levels of time target completion. So together, these visuals help you quickly answer two questions. Are students using happy numbers consistently, and are they completing enough meaningful work? Let's take a closer look at the two weekly targets. So the weekly time target is the recommended minimum amount of practice each week. So the suggested targets are 30 minutes for pre-K, 35 minutes for kindergarten, and 45 minutes for grades 1 and above. The weekly task target is the minimum number of tasks a student is expected to complete. Happy Numbers calculates this automatically for each student based on the student's current position in the curriculum and weekly time target. And students can also track both targets in their own accounts. Happy Numbers includes built-in rewards, but many teachers add classrooms incentives as well, such as a weekly challenge, a class celebration, or recognition for consistent effort. The most important thing is to celebrate steady, productive practice rather than speed alone. The lower section of the dashboard provides a student by student view. So students are grouped according to their placement level, beginning with those working below the registered grade level and then those working on grade level or above. For each student, you can review daily and weekly time. You can look at progress toward both targets, total tasks completed, and also weekly accuracy. Accuracy compares successful attempts with total attempts, but it should always be interpreted alongside the number of tasks, time spent, and any struggle alerts. One number rarely tells the whole story. The weekly dashboard also provides you with struggle alerts that are designed to help you identify students who may need intervention. A new alert appears as a red triangle. After you review it, the alert remains visible in gray, so you still have a record of it. Let's look at Sage as a concrete example. During this week, Sage spent 20 minutes in happy numbers toward a 45-minute target. Sage completed 2 tasks and still has 5 tasks remaining to meet the weekly task target. The weekly accuracy is 64%, and the triangle next to Sage's name tells us that one of the completed tasks triggered a struggle alert. When we expand Sage's row, we can see every task completed that week. Selecting Show Only Struggle Tasks narrows the list to the task that caused difficulty. And from there, we can also open the exercise and ask Sage to solve it alongside us so we can observe exactly where the misunderstanding is occurring. And this gives us a much clearer picture than accuracy alone. A 50% accuracy rate based on 2 attempts that may reflect a simple mistake, while the same rate across 7 attempts, well, that may point to a more persistent misunderstanding. And Happy Numbers uses an algorithm that considers the number and pattern of mistakes, helping the report highlight tasks where intervention is more likely to be useful. The weekly dashboard tells us who may need attention right now. The skills report helps us answer the next question. What specifically does each student understand and where might support be needed? The skills report shows each student's current level of mastery across specific mathematical skills. It also flags areas where students may need help. As students complete more work in happy numbers, the report becomes more precise because it has more evidence to draw from. So, regular weekly practice is essential for keeping the report accurate and up to date. The report uses 4 main colors. Green indicates mastery. The student has demonstrated at least 80% accuracy and sufficient evidence of understanding. Yellow indicates that the skill is developing, generally with accuracy between 60% and 79%. Red indicates that help may be needed. And these are skills to prioritize for small group instruction, one-to-one support, or targeted practice. Gray means there's not yet enough information to make a reliable determination, and the report will update as the students complete more relevant tasks. To evaluate a skill, Happy Numbers looks at recent attempts, the type of task, the level of representation, for example, concrete or abstract, and the student's accuracy. So, to keep the report easy to navigate, skills are organized into domains such as numeracy, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And the chart up at the top here, this shows how students are distributed across mastery levels within each domain. And hovering over a bar reveals student names and counts, and the names are also clickable. So let's look at grade 2 here on addition. So if we click on Charlie's name here, that takes us directly to Charlie's position in the main table. And from there, we can review Charlie's skills and explore the evidence behind each mastery level. So you can see skill accuracy, completed tasks, and the time spent on each task. And hovering over the time here, this shows the expected completion time, which can help you notice where a student may be working inefficiently or struggling. You may also see a gray silhouette icon next to the skill. For example, the icon next to Connor shows that Connor is currently working on that skill. A skill in progress may appear yellow or even red at first, and that is not automatically a concern. It may simply mean the student is at the beginning of the learning process and needs more opportunities to practice. If a student has not used happy numbers enough for the report to make an objective assessment, you also may see a gray clock. If more than half of the class has not practiced in the past month, a banner will remind you that the data may be outdated. And that reminder is important. Reports are most useful when students practice consistently. So, when working with the skills report to save time, you can select show only students who need help. So, let's change this to subtraction. This filters the table so you can focus immediately on students with red skills in the selected domain. So our selected domain is subtraction, show only students who need help. So in this subtraction domain, the filter shows that several students need support with 2-digit minus 1-digit subtraction. Hudson is one of the students flagged for this skill. And that gives us an immediate next step. Invite Hudson and students with the same need to a small group, provide a quick reteaching lesson, or create a targeted assignment. The skills report helps us identify the need. The assignment feature gives us a direct way to respond. So Happy Numbers automatically personalizes each student's learning pathway, but there are times when you may want students to practice a particular skill connected to your instruction. Assignments are useful for practice, reinforcement after a lesson, pre-teaching, or short formative check. You can assign work to the whole class, to performance groups, or to individual students. Please note that students must complete the placement test, though, before receiving curriculum-based assignments. Let's walk through the actual process of creating an assignment. First, click Add Assignment and choose the students. You can choose them by placement group or select individual students. I'm going to choose the below grade level group. Next, you're going to want to choose the assignment length. The time shown is an estimate based on how long an on-grade level student typically needs, so actual times may vary. Okay, then you want to select the grade, domain, and skill. You can choose guided practice as well, which provides step-by-step support, or practice, which is more independent and includes explanations when students make mistakes. So my demo class students are on grade level 1. I'm going to choose grade 2 here, and let's choose the subtraction domain. Now for the actual assignment, I'm going to choose, let's do 2-digit minus 1-digit. All right, so we can use the preview option to confirm that the tasks match your goal. And finally, you can choose the dates, and you can also name your assignment. So let's name this 2-digit minus 1-digit. And then you can assign it to the selected students. So then the next time students log in, the assignment will appear before they return to their personalized pathway. If students do not complete the assignment in the assigned time, it will automatically be canceled. Now, in the weekly dashboard, anytime students spend working on assignments, that's marked with the letter A. Simply hover over the indicator to see how much time they spent and their accuracy on the assignment. And also, one thing to keep in mind is that students will still need time to work through their personalized learning pathway. And if you're assigning targeted practice on a regular basis, it's a good idea to adjust the weekly time target accordingly. For example, if you assign additional practice every week, you may want to increase the weekly goal to 60 minutes. That gives students enough time to complete the assignment while still spending at least 45 minutes progressing through their individual curriculum. In addition to weekly dashboard data on assignments, Happy Numbers also provides you with a full version of the report. On the assignments page, you can filter by active, scheduled, and ended. So each assignment includes a summary of completion and students who may need intervention. A student may be flagged if accuracy is low or if the work takes much longer than expected. And you can open up the detailed report to review the status, accuracy, time spent, and performance on individual tasks. You can also cancel or reassign work for the entire group or for an individual student. And if a student spends far longer than expected, happy numbers may cancel the assignment automatically to prevent frustration. As a general routine, consider short, manageable sets, about 10 minutes for a group once or twice a week, and around 5 minutes for an individual student who needs focused support. The status icons make it possible to understand progress at a glance, and you can hover over these icons where applicable. A red X, that means the assignment was canceled. Hover over it to see whether it was canceled by the teacher because the time expired or because the work became too difficult. A blue check means that a section was completed. A blue check with a red dot, that means it was completed, but the student struggled and may need intervention. Now, it's not here on the screen because this is a demo account, but a gray person icon means that the student is still working, and a red dot on that icon means the student is struggling while the work is in progress. And the empty circle here, that just means the section has not been started. So let's look at Tatum as an example. So Tatum is struggling with place value to hundreds, guided practice assignment, okay? And in his case, it would be better to reteach the concept in person. The rest of the class who have completed the assignment so far are doing quite well. And we have 9 students who have not yet started working on this assignment. And all of these indicators, they help you quickly identify who is on track, who needs more time, and who may benefit from a follow-up. Now, digital practice, it is powerful, but it is only part of a balanced classroom. Let's look at how you can reinforce the same skills away from the screen. The Printables library gives you ready-to-use, standards-aligned materials without the need to search for worksheets online. Materials are organized by grade, domain, skill, and standard. And many skill sets include up to 3 levels of difficulty, making differentiation quick and practical. So you can see those here. The easy level, that supports students who are still building the concept. The medium level provides additional practice, and the challenging level, that's designed for students who are ready for more abstract work with less visual support. Let's imagine that a group of students need extra support with rounding to the nearest hundred. We can filter by grade 3. We can then search for rounding to hundreds. Let's click on that and let's open the printable set. All right, so now let's imagine we have 4 students who need the easy level. We have 5 students who would benefit from the medium level and 3 students who are ready for the challenging level. So in this Create PDF menu, we can enter those copy counts and combine all 3 levels into one differentiated download. And printables are available in English and Spanish, so you can switch languages and create materials that support your multilingual learners. So we could click Create PDF. Now, you may also see, as you're scrolling through printables, you may also see a cooperative label. This means the activity is designed for more than one student and can work well as a center or Fun Friday option. Some materials require a few minutes of preparation. So a yellow preparation icon, that shows the estimated time to set up, which is generally no more than 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so back at the weekly dashboard, after a couple of months of learning and practice with happy numbers, it's time to step back and take a broader look at student growth over time. That's where the assessments and yearly dashboard become especially valuable, providing meaningful insights into progress and helping you measure learning throughout the year. All right. So after students have used happy numbers consistently for at least 2 months, the mid-year assessment can provide an updated measure of their performance. It becomes available around mid-December. And the purpose is not only to measure growth, but also to adjust the learning pathway when students demonstrate mastery beyond their current position. So to schedule it, you'll turn on the mid-year tests, select a start date, and click Apply. The assessment will then appear automatically in student accounts. Now here, my mid-year test is already set up, so I can demonstrate these steps with the end of the year test. So you can toggle this on, select the date, and then click Apply. The setup of both tests is identical. Once your students complete the test, assessment results will appear in 4 performance categories. You'll have far below grade level, which is the red color. You'll have below grade level, which is the yellow, on grade level, which is the green, and exceeding grade level, which is the dark green. The numerical result itself is presented in happy number score, which is designed to be easy to interpret. The first digit indicates the grade level, and the next 2 digits show the percentage of that grade level curriculum the student has mastered. For example, a score of 210 means the student is working within grade 2 and has demonstrated understanding of about 10% of the grade 2 curriculum. Happy Numbers assessment is supported by Metametrics Company, and all the assessment results are also available in Quantile's R scale, which you may have seen last year. If you need the results in Quantiles, you can reach us at cs@happynumbers.com. If a result does not seem to reflect a student's ability, perhaps because the student had an unusually difficult day or received outside help, you can reset the assessment and allow a student to take that again. The yearly dashboard, this gives you a high-level view of class progress across a school year. The charts at the top, they compare the class distribution after the placement test with the current distribution after weeks of practice. The overall progress section, that summarizes average growth. The next grade readiness section, that identifies students who have completed their current grade level curriculum and demonstrated readiness through the assessment. This is the report to use when you want to step back from individual students and see how the class is progressing as a whole. So as an example, I can see quickly that at the start of the school year, 5 students were working below grade level. Now, the majority of my students are working above grade level with an average curriculum progress of 123%. The lower section follows individual progress. Students who began grade level appear first, followed by students who began on grade level or below. And for each student, you can review curriculum progress, you can review average weekly usage, the journey from the placement test to the current practice point, and results from available assessments. And the growth value of 100% represents 1 full year of grade level curriculum growth. Because the report combines usage, curriculum progress, assessment results, and growth, this is especially useful for conversations with instructional coaches and administrators. And what's nice is too, you can also download the yearly dashboard as a PDF for sharing. So far, we've looked mostly at class level reports. When you need a complete picture of one student, open the student report by selecting the student's name from a report. So let's see, we looked at Sage earlier, so let's click on Sage. And the student report then brings together information from across Happy Numbers in one place, making it easier to review progress, current skills, assessment results, and areas that may require support. For family conversations, the parent report presents student progress and assessment information in clear, accessible language. You can download it from the Parent Report tab and use it during conferences or progress discussions to explain what the student has accomplished and what they're currently working toward. Last year, we introduced Fact Fluency for grades 1 through 5, a fully integrated system that works seamlessly in the background. It delivers short, targeted practice based on each student's progress through the Happy Numbers curriculum. In Fact Fluency, it follows a research-based, 4-step approach. Students first build accuracy without time pressure. They then develop speed using a relaxed count-up timer. They receive targeted practice on the facts they find most challenging. And finally, they strengthen long-term retention through spaced repetition. Now, let's see how all of this comes to life for teachers. We'll start with the class fluency report. So you want to click Fluency within Reports to open it. And just below the report title, you'll find the Show Only Intervention Needed. So click that. That filters the class list to display only the students who currently need additional support. And this report is easy to read at a glance. Students are listed on the left, while the four fact domains, so we've got addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, they appear across the top, each represented by a color-coded progress bar. And on the far right, the student report icon lets you jump directly into an individual student's detailed report. Before we click in, let's interpret what we're seeing. So let's take Raina's row, for example. Her addition and subtraction bars are completely green, indicating those fact families are fully mastered. Multiplication is a mix of green and yellow, showing she's still developing both speed and accuracy. And division is gray, meaning she hasn't begun working on those facts yet. With a single glance, you can immediately understand where she is in her fact fluency journey. Now, notice the intervention icon next to Raina's name. It can be gray or red. That's the system identifying her as a student who needs extra support. So let's click into her report to see why. Okay, so now we can view a detailed breakdown of her multiplication skills, from multiplying by 0 through 10 with percentage of the facts that are mastered, in progress, and not started for each skill. And next to multiplication by 3, you'll see that same red intervention icon indicating that 4 specific multiplication facts require attention. All right, so let's go one level deeper. With one click, we can open Raina's Student Fluency Report, which is a complete color-coded grid of every multiplication fact. Green cells represent mastered facts, yellow indicates in progress, gray means not started, and pink highlights struggle. Most of Raina's grid is green and yellow, but the pink cells, so here like in times 3, these same 4 facts were flagged in the previous report. So hover over one of them, so let's do 4 times 3, and you'll see exactly what the student is doing incorrectly, including the specific incorrect answer that keeps recurring. This is what makes the fact fluency report so powerful. You can start with a class-wide overview, quickly identify the students who need support, drill down to the exact skill, and finally pinpoint the individual facts and even the specific misconceptions that are preventing mastery. And that level of precision, it makes it easy to provide timely, targeted intervention exactly where it's needed. That brings us to the end of today's walkthrough. We've explored how to use the weekly dashboard for regular check-ins, the skills report to identify specific needs, assignments and printables to provide targeted support, and assessment and yearly reports to monitor growth over time. We also looked at individual, parent, and fluency reports for a more focused view. The key idea is that the reports are not just a record of what students have done. They are tools that can help you decide what to do next. All right, well, thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to cs@happynumbers.com.